Halloween. I'm getting ready for a night out. I have been talking about going out for Halloween all freaking week, and as expected, all of my plans have kind of been falling through. Like everything that I thought I would be doing tonight. So I don't really know what I'm doing, where I'm going, but I know I'm going out. That's like all I really need to know. I finished my first week of school today, and it was so intense. We had to finish a project in a week, which I literally have never done before. And it was also like the first time that it was like meeting everybody, and I got put in a group with people I didn't know, and like I actually don't really even know anyone in my class. Mostly, if not only, new people, which is great and everything, but yeah, a little bit hectic for a first week, like just trying to socialize and get to know everyone, but then also like being really productive and working on this project. Like we haven't actually even finished it, so I'm probably gonna have to work a little bit tomorrow to hand it in on time. But yeah, it's been a little bit crazy. I've been going out a lot this week, which is like, if you know me, very unlike me, but I've honestly just been feeling a little bit manic, and I don't know if it's because of the winter weather coming through that I'm just like transforming. I honestly feel like it's maybe like a social high. Like I've been talking to so many new people, just being social in ways I haven't been in a very long time. It's just like boosting me to want to be out more in general. Also with the change of time, like daylight savings, I just haven't been sleeping. So I could just be in a manic because I'm not sleeping enough. That's also a possibility. I am gonna get dressed up. I thought I was gonna like abandon my costume, but I actually am pretty excited about it. I think I'm gonna dress up as a pirate, which is very cute and fun. You guys know I got this red bandana in London that I love, so I think I'm gonna try to make it work with the whole pirate costume. And my sister just straightened my hair. I haven't seen my hair straight in a very long time because having it short, I honestly can only wear it curly because it just dries poofy like naturally. So yeah, this is the first time I'm seeing myself with straight hair in a long time, and I missed her. She's like cute. So anyways, I'm just gonna do a lip. Should I go for red and just like be very obnoxious? I think I should. Like, who is stopping me? No one. Guys, I was low-key debating between changing my costume to Elastigirl because clearly there was something to it, but this bandana is very pirate. So I think I love it. I think I look insane, but isn't that like the whole point of Halloween, is to look like a little bit like insane or not? But I'm not gonna tie the bandana just yet because I'm going to a friend's magazine launch thing. Well, it's not a friend's, but a friend is inviting me, so I'm going. And then after that we'll probably go to the party together. Kind of complicated, this whole arrangement. I don't like Halloween at all. I don't like dressing up, but sometimes when I'm a little bit manic, it kind of turns out to be fun. Okay, let's go.
Sure. to put an alarm to wake up on time because we reserved tickets to this exhibit, the Louis Vuitton Foundation. One of my favorite places to go to for exhibits. Like, I actually try to not miss any single one because it's always just like a very grand scheme exhibit, and they really put a lot of work into it, and it's just like the coolest people. So I'm going with Mel. We always do this. This is like our little tradition since we first became friends. I'm excited, but I'm also like so exhausted from last night. We had such a fun time. We started off by going to this magazine launch. It was very cool. We met a lot of very cool graphic designers in the French like space, and we then had a drink, and then we biked to this party. I'm like terrified of biking in the city. I already have a hard time biking just in general. Like, it's not my favorite thing to do. I don't feel very safe because I'm not like the most well versed in it. But this was so fun, and it's actually crazy because I had put this on my bucket list for next year. I really wanted to, you know, feel more comfortable biking around the city and just having these fun bike rides. And we basically just like crossed all of Paris from east side to west side and saw the Eiffel Tower and everything. Like, it was just so perfect. Like, it really was the funnest part of the night for me. And then we got to the party, socialized a little bit, and I think we left around like 1 a.m. Basically all I have to say about it, but it was fun. I didn't get to sleep as much as I wanted to, but it's fine because we're doing something cultural. And actually, something else I really want to install in like my week is to have at least one cultural activity and one long walk. I think those are the two things that really feed my soul most and make me feel very good, very aligned with myself, like very me. So yeah, I'm doing that. So hopefully tomorrow I'll go on a long walk or something. That's basically the plan for today. And I'm wearing the baggiest, comfiest clothes I can so that I'll be chill. Also, I've started watching The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, which has been so fun. I've honestly missed watching The Real Housewives so much. I've watched Beverly Hills and New York. Now my third one is going to be Salt Lake City. I'm very excited about it because I know there's a lot of juicy drama that goes on, I think, after a couple seasons. But so far, season 1 has been fun. So I've been watching that. I'm going to take you guys to this amazing exhibit so you can experience it with me, and then we'll see what we'll do. So it is Sunday. Gonna make myself some leftovers for lunch. I finally caught up on sleep last night because yesterday was the sleepiest day for me. As you guys know, I went out on Friday. I went out this whole week, but especially on Friday for Halloween. I got home at 1 a.m. and the next morning went to see the Gerard Richter exhibit, which was amazing. I really want to talk about it later on. But yeah, after that, like, literally felt like I was sleepwalking. I was so exhausted. So I basically just like came home, napped. I had to finish or like send in our group project that we did this week. And then I think I just like watched TV and crashed out. Like, I was so tired. Today I'm feeling much better, more energized. I still want to take it pretty slow just because it is Sunday and I really want my body to rest. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go out today. I want to go on a walk, but that's pretty much it. I have a lot of like organizational stuff to do at home and like prep my food for the week and all that stuff, which is always very fun. It is a nice day, so I think I'm gonna have a quick lunch and then go out, walk around, see where I end up. I'm gonna go to the park. Hopefully it's sunny enough to be able to lay outside a little bit. I just want to read, chat, chill, and regroup a little bit. So let's go. I used to come here every day after working out. It was kind of like my safe haven, and I would like meditate and just indulge in nature. I haven't had time to do that ever since I started working in school again, but I'm thankful to be back today. I've never seen it during autumn, so it feels very special. Talk about Gerard Richter exhibit, but I actually want to talk about this book first because I have so many thoughts about it. I've been reading All Fours by Miranda July on my Kindle, but it's been the most interesting experience because it's not like any other book I've ever read. I saw this book at a bookstore and I read the first few pages and I really liked the writing style. So I decided to buy it, and also the story, like the synopsis of the story seemed very normal. Basically about this 40-year-old woman who decides to go on a road trip without her family, and then through that road trip she discovers a bunch of things about herself. Very probable, very normal storyline, but that's actually not really what happens. Like, essentially that's what happens, but the storyline is so insane. Like, it just goes through so many loops. This is the type of book where you actually can't predict what's gonna happen. Every time I got to a different part of the story, I was shocked. Like, it keeps you on your toes, which is great for someone that reads a bunch of books. Like, it's very enjoyable to actually read one where I don't already suspect the ending. I was talking about it with Julie, my best friend, because I was telling her that I feel just in general in society and like pop culture right now, there's like a big theme of sexual liberation and just like being very okay with showing your body, talking about sex, like just being very open about that subject. And I feel like now in books that I'm reading that have come out recently, sex scenes are a lot more explicit, even though these are like general fiction books, like they're not smut or anything, but still, like, the sex scenes that are in this book are very graphic and they're not like vanilla sex, if that makes any sense. So It's something that I personally don't really love, to be honest. Like, it's not something that I'm looking for in a book, to have like very graphic and detailed sex scenes. Like, it doesn't really add anything to the experience for me. It actually makes me a little bit uncomfortable, especially when I'm reading in public, because I'm like scared someone's gonna look over my shoulder and see me reading something very graphic and detailed like that. So I will say that that's like one part of the book where I was a little bit reticent at first about, but I've gotten used to it, and I actually do feel like for this book it is useful for the storyline, because we actually don't know anything about the main character. She is very rarely vulnerable or even explicit about her life throughout the book. We don't really know what her job is. We don't even know about her family, childhood, trauma, etc. Like, we get glimpses throughout the story, but it's not very upfront. It's almost like she's a mysterious character, which is funny because the book is from her point of view, so it's a little bit tricky. Like, you're reading it and you're like, well, actually I don't really know what she thinks and feels. Like, it feels very mysterious, but the only times that she is completely vulnerable is during these very detailed sex acts where her actual desires come out, and that's basically what she explores during her road trip. Just like the awakening of her sexual desires, her sexual persona, and also this idea of like a midlife crisis. Or maybe she must be like closer to 50, because she's going through premenopause, and how all of these changes affect your body and your sexuality, and she's just grappling with a lot of very important themes of being a woman, especially at that age. So it's like insanely interesting because it's very real. Like, it feels very real, it feels very honest, and I cannot tell you guys how much I have enjoyed reading this book. I kind of went through this uninspired reading period. I didn't find any books that I really connected with, and I was reading a lot of classic literature, which is good, but I feel like I don't enjoy it when I do it too much. Like, it has to be sprinkled in with other stuff. And yeah, I just hadn't found any fiction books recently that really spoke to me, but this one is crazy good. I'm like actually obsessed with it. I think I'm almost done. I must be like at 90% of it, but I just have so much thoughts about this book because actually so many things happen. And yeah, it's just opened up my eyes to a lot of different subjects, and like also questionings. Like, I'm slowly like changing my mind on certain things that I thought I was very rigid on through reading this book, which is crazy. But yeah, I definitely do feel it has like an underlying social commentary about women and what it means to be a mother, be a working woman, and being a sexual woman in this day and age. So yeah, if any of those like subjects interest you, I feel like you would very much enjoy this book. It's also just like funny, and again, the writing is exceptional. Like, the way she writes is I don't even know how to describe it, but it's just great. It's awesome. So all fours. I'm leaving you with that. Okay, I'm in the middle of a side quest. I'm cleaning out this like set of drawers under my desk that I literally never open. I never look at these, but I did a pretty good job actually. These are like the most random, this is like my random shit tower. This is like random like papers and leaflets that I keep for research purposes, like graphic design stuff that inspires me, and also random passport photos I've taken, as you can tell. Hopefully this will be filled to the brim soon. And then this is like sentimental stuff. I've got stuff from concerts. These are old like jewelry of mine that are very meaningful and like part of my identity as a teenager. Cards, random like art making stuff, envelopes, stickers, stuff like that. I should probably put that in this drawer because this is like my school and arts drawer. So for now we're gonna keep them here. Pretty self-explanatory. This is my old film camera. I actually don't even know if it works still, but I have a bunch of film for it, so And then just a bunch of little pouches and stuff. Then I still have to like sort through all this stuff. But anyways, that's not even why I want to get the camera out. Right after I talked about the book at the park, it started raining, so I had to come home. Luckily, I picked up a package that's been waiting for me at the post office for literally a week. I haven't been able to go. But I've been ordering more vintage workout gear or workout outfits because I have a problem. It's like as if it's almost like I discovered a new sort of crack that I'm really into. That sounds really bad. But yeah, my new hyperfixation every time I'm on Vinted is looking up like vintage Nike stuff from the 2000s. And I found these shorts and I literally didn't even want to go pick them up because I was like, I kind of regret buying them. Like, I don't even know if they're cute. And I am actually so glad I bought them. These are so cute. Like, and literally the thickest material. This is why I shop vintage, because these are cotton shorts, which are so much better for your body to be able to breathe and like let all the toxins out, because when you sweat, obviously you absorb a lot of the stuff that's on the surface of your skin. So if you're wearing like a bunch of plastic, polyester, like synthetic material leggings and stuff, like it's not helping your body breathe and like release all the stuff that you're supposed to be releasing when you're working out, and it actually does the opposite, which is like absorb all of that. But all that to say, this is why I'm buying cotton workout gear. And this is so cute because I thought, I don't know, such a fun color combo, and I actually think this is gonna be very flattering. Sadly, I don't think I'm gonna be able to wear it for a while because it's winter, but a very good find. I'm excited about this. I'm gonna keep sorting through this stuff. Oh, thanks. Thanks.
Yeah, she got that one. Jusqu'à Brunel.
I desperately need to get a lamp for this room because I only have this one. We don't have any overhead lighting in this apartment. Not by choice, but that's just how it is. I need a hair clip because this hair is crazy. I've got some very chic under eye bags. Try to cover up, but I don't think I've been very successful. But I wanted to show you guys. I finally got my little work frame done. I think I showed in the last vlog. I bought this little pink frame from IKEA because I wanted something to like personalize my workspace, and so I printed some Polaroids for it. Got the cutest one, cutest picture of me and my bunny, and then my parents and my sister and I don't know why this one didn't really print itself well, but I'm hoping with the light of the sun it'll develop. I don't know if that's how it works, but I finished my book yesterday. So I'm starting a new one. It's a little essay book by Susan Sontag. Notes on Camp. These two classic essays were the first works of criticism to break down the boundaries between high and low culture and made Susan Sontag a literary sensation. So I'm excited to read this. Work fit check of the week. Queen! It's so fun because on days that Gabe and I are both going to the office, we can actually take the metro together for like 2 stations for literally 3 seconds, but it's still fun. It feels like I'm going
Well, no, it is like I'm going to work with my sister. Feels like we're going to school again. But yeah, I wanted to bring in the frame that I made, but I'm just like bringing too much stuff in today. I haven't been back at the office in like a week and a half or something, so there is no more space in my bag. But I'm excited to see my colleagues again and do some work stuff and see just like the advancements of all my projects, which is really exciting, and also just tell them about my school week. But yeah, that's the update. I'm going to a little vintage pop-up after work. I actually went there yesterday with Julie and we had dinner and everything. It was really fun. And I wanted to buy something, but they didn't have the terminal to like pay with card, so they're holding out my thing and I'm gonna go pick it up tonight. Then I also have another like vintage package I need to get to, so I'll update you with that. And I'm wearing my new boots. Literally love these. Guys, I got off work. I'm going through Revolution Week, which is the most chaotic spot in Paris. If you know, you know. But I'm basically gonna go buy a vintage top that I like reserved yesterday. How is it 6 p.m. right now? Guys, can I tell you about the flop I fucking had? Can I tell you about the flop I fucking had while I unboxed this package? I went to the vintage pop-up and it was gone. Literally nowhere to be seen. I'm pretty disappointed because I'm never gonna see that top again. Like, there's no way. But at least I got the new vintage outfit. You guys already know what this is. Another Nike vintage find. It's actually so cute, but it smells disgusting, like always. It's just like the plastic they wrap it in. Literally ew, but finally home. I have like 10 minutes before I need to leave for work. I managed to just do things in a shorter amount of time this morning. I don't really know why. It's just like, I've got my little notebook here, so you guys already know what this is going to be. A little segment about the expo I did on Sunday. Spoiler alert, I freaking loved it, but I always do. Exhibits at the Louis Vuitton Foundation are always so superb. They always choose very incredible artists and a huge variety of work, so you really get to see a big journey of the artist's life. They've also done duos, which has been really interesting. I don't know, I just love that place. I can't rave about it enough. I took some notes after the exhibit about things that kind of like stood out to me so I can like recount it to you guys and also remember it. But the first part of the exhibit, it was in chronological order, so we could see kind of like the phases of his life and like the phases of his creative process and of his paintings like evolving as he explored like new mediums and new techniques, etc. Gérard basically started painting from newspapers and magazines. Actually, that's how he found one of his very signature techniques. He was really like dissatisfied with an image he was painting, so he took a solvent that you use when you do oil painting to kind of dilute the painting from the brush, and he brushed it over the image that he was painting, and it kind of like blurred the edges of it a little bit, and that sparked his idea to include that into the painting. So basically what he did during that period of his life was make really realistic paintings in black and white, and then he would take a soft dry brush and brush over them when they were still wet, which kind of just like blurred the lines a little bit, but it's almost not even that perceptible. There's a quote in the exhibit that said, "This seems to push the image into the past, evoking memory, but also propelling the image toward abstraction," which is like exactly how I would describe it. it doesn't even feel like you're looking at a painting because it still has like those very realistic aspects of it, but because it's blurred, you almost feel like you're looking at it from a memory inside your head, or like an old photograph that's kind of been like worn off in time. It's very weird. Like it just has this sort of like emotion and like nostalgia to it that is very particular. And so I wrote, the feathered surfaces of these gray paintings create a timeless effect of nostalgia and memory, and it's almost like your brain helps to fill in the gaps and makes the image more real, like an old photo, not a stylized depiction of it. I'd say that probably was like my favorite part of the exhibit, just because I particularly loved that technique, and I thought it made the paintings so special and so different to anything I've seen. They almost look like fusion drawings, like with what is that called, like charcoal? Yeah, like charcoal drawings, but made with paint, which is really crazy because you have to really know how to blend the paints together to kind of give that effect. So I thought that was a little bit insane. Like if you look at it from very far away, you don't think it's a painting, which is crazy. And yeah, so my favorites from that era were a family portrait, which is an old photograph of him and his parents, two lovers, which is like two couples in a field that are embracing. It's very romantic, it's very beautiful. And then there's a painting of his first wife, Emma, and she's coming down the stairs naked. This one's like not in black and white, but the technique again of like the brushstrokes being a little bit blurred, it almost makes her seem spiritual in a sense, like almost like she's like a holy person walking down the stairs. It's the most beautiful painting ever, and I think he could really portray his loved ones in like a very beautiful and special way, which was so incredible to watch, especially in the next era where he starts to paint with color. And he did a couple of paintings of his daughter Betty, and even though he doesn't use that technique anymore, they're still like realistic, but in kind of like an eerie sense. Like you can tell that they're painted from a photograph, and that almost makes it more intimate in a sense. And also, like there's this painting where we can't even see her face, but it's just like very intimate. Like it feels like you're having a glimpse of someone's personal life and the love they have for their daughter. Later on, he experiments with more abstract paintings that are very big and bold and colorful. It's kind of like he goes from one extreme to the other. There's a really long painting that I think he was commissioned to do for a specific space, but I don't remember which one, where he basically zooms in on one of his other paintings and takes a picture of like a brushstroke, but it's almost like microscopic, because when it's extended through this huge painting, you can't even tell that it's like supposed to represent the brushstroke. You just think it's like a very stylized yellow line, and then when you read it, you're like, oh my god, this makes so much sense, because you can literally see the shadows of the paint. It's very like it's very mindfucky, but it's very cool. Like it's not my favorite because I don't know, I felt like the texture of it was icky in a sense. Like I don't have like trypophobia, but sometimes certain like textures just like give me a little bit of chills. That was one of them, but it was an interesting concept. But then there were other that were just like beautiful compositions of colors, and he really experimented with painting techniques, whether it be using the brush to poke the canvas instead of like swiping it. He did a study on gray and how if you paint it differently, it gives off different vibes. So there were like 3 huge paintings of exactly the same shade of gray, but they were just painted differently. One was like swiped kind of in crisscross, one was swiped in one line, and the last one was like poked. And it does give like very different feelings to the exact same color, which is so interesting. It's funny because he talks about how for him realism and abstraction are the same things. They're just like different representations of the same things. And there's this room that you come into where there are like 2 paintings on each wall, so I think around 6. He basically states like these are the same paintings, but they're different because every painting has a different level of abstraction. So the first one you see is like a very realistic depiction of a room with a girl dancing, and then the next one it's a little bit more blurred, and then the next one it's a little bit more blurred, and then at the end it's just like a shadow of color. And so for him to say that this is the exact same painting, just different techniques, it's really crazy because you can actually see it. And then so you wonder if in his other abstract paintings he was painting something, we just can't really tell what it is. And I think I think what I loved about this specific artist is that you can tell that he really loved art and he really loved painting in the process of it and exploring it, and he really had fun exploring every limit of art. Like there shouldn't be any limits, but what I'm trying to say is that he just had fun exploring every aspect of it and pushing his techniques forward and trying different things, comparing different things and learning from it, and yeah, just having fun. Also did a series of abstract paintings that are basically composed of lacquer squares, so like a very glossy paint, and then he just composed them together completely randomly, and it's very beautiful. It's very childish in a way, but very beautiful. Yeah, I feel like he just didn't have any sort of restrictions in his mind of what type of artist he was or what type of artist people wanted him to be, and he started off painting very realistic black and white paintings with a very different technique, and then towards the later part of his life he was doing completely abstract, very bold colors, very simple shapes. Like he didn't let any of that influence his desire for creativity and playfulness and experimentation, and I think that is like such an important lesson to take out of it, because I feel like that's the only way you can grow as an artist, is if you get out of your comfort zone and try literally everything that comes to your mind. And yeah, I'm just like I'm just a new fan. I didn't know him before, but I am a complete fan of him and of his work. It just like opened my eyes to something I didn't really ever think of. So that's it. I'm gonna be late for work now, but hi guys, it's finally Saturday. I made it through another week of work. I think now, accumulating from the beginning, I finally made a month exactly at work, which is crazy. I got my first paycheck last week, which was a very crazy feeling. I've never had a real job before. I've gotten paid for stuff that I did in terms of like graphic design and stuff, but like nothing to this level, and it just felt very gratifying and very freeing in a way, because it's like, oh my god, I can build life, like I can work towards my dreams with this money. So I don't know, lots to think about, but I just wanted to pop in at the end of this video. I'm eating the most delicious breakfast ever. I haven't made a matcha in, I think, since before I left from summer, so maybe 3 or 4 months, which is criminal. I've had matcha out, but I haven't made one at home, which is always my favorite, so it is very criminal. It's having a little yogurt bowl with blueberries, which is my current hyperfixation. I like to put just like a bunch of nuts in it. I'm teething myself off of granola, so this is not a replacement. Don't knock until you try it though. I guess I just wanted to thank you guys for all the love on my last vlog, which was the London vlog. Well, actually no, it's gonna be 2 vlogs ago because I'm currently editing the next one. The London vlog did relatively well. I think that's like a French translation. I don't think relatively makes any sense in English, but it outperformed any other video I've ever posted on here, which was already an achievement for me, obviously because I took a lot of time to edit it and I was like really proud of it, so I'm so glad that a lot of people enjoyed it too. But I also got some very sweet comments on it, which doesn't happen that often. As you guys know, I'm like a very tiny small creator in the wild. Like I hit 100 subscribers through the London vlog. Might seem like not a lot, but it's a very big achievement for me. But more than anything, I want to thank you guys for leaving such sweet comments on that video. It's kind of funny because when I post vlogs and like they get views and stuff, like I am happy about it, but like I don't feel like it really clicks in my brain. Like 500 people watch this video. I can't imagine like 500 people in the wild. But when I read some of you guys' comments about where you're from and like what you liked about the video and what you connected with, it becomes very real. And so I just wanted to thank you, because I can't express how much it means to me, how touching it was to read all those, especially because this is something I've been doing since I was literally like 6 or maybe 6 a little young, like 7 or 8 years old. But I've always been too scared to post. It feels really good to finally be able to connect with people through it, and that so many of you guys enjoyed the last one. That's really special to me. I feel like I'm not making any sense. I'm going in a million directions, and also this feels very like cliche in a way, but it is true. So I really just wanted to thank you. I'm gonna say it for the last time, but I wanted to thank you guys for just being here for the journey, and you know, being so supportive and subscribing and following along. I've had support system of like family and friends that watch my videos too, and that have like encouraged me to keep going, and have been honestly the greatest motivators I could have, because I've been posting out for I think almost 3 years. So I couldn't be here without you guys, and I know you're watching too, so I love you. I'm just so grateful for YouTube in general, and like being able to do this, because it's given me like a means creative expression that I value like so much. It's something that I do purely for fun and because I love it, outside of like work and school, and it is a little bit of a time commitment, but I wouldn't want it any other way, because looking back on like any of my vlogs, I'm also such like a nostalgic person, so this really works with me, but looking back on any of my vlogs, I also do watch them a lot with my parents. It's just very special. It's a very special like form of memories, like a little video time capsule. It's just like meaningful the whole way around, from taking the videos to the editing process to posting it to receiving any feedback. I'm just so happy that I finally made the choice to post on the internet, because it has given me so much back. Growing through this platform as well, because obviously I've gotten better at making videos. I honestly, some of them I can't watch from the beginning because the editing is so bad, and I don't even know what I'm talking about most of the time, and I've had a really hard time portraying like my real personality on here, because it is a little bit scary. But I feel like now I've just gotten a lot more comfortable, and I definitely do feel like this is a safe place for me. I'm gonna stop blabbering on, because this is already like a 10-minute clip that's like never gonna make it into this vlog, because I know it's long already. But yeah, just thank you guys for following along my crazy life, and your comments mean more to me than you will ever know, so thank you for that too. And yeah, I hope you'll enjoy the rest, and also to everyone that's like new here, thanks. I'll try to not disappoint. Bye.